Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you for joining me, Tiffany, on Ascending with Tip Talks 22. This is going to be, I'm kind of losing track of the number of episodes. I think this is number 8. I don't know. Well, it is definitely a follow-up to the episode that I previously recorded regarding the sexual energy and the sacral chakra. I wanted to come back on and give you guys some different ways to foster healing of this chakra, right? The second chakra, the mantra for the second chakra is, I enjoy life fully. Okay, so if you guys listen to that one, if not, feel free to go back. But as we previously discussed, that's easy for me to say, imbalance in this chakra may manifest as what? Passivity, shame or guilt around the things that bring you pleasure or that are intended to bring you pleasure, your ability to create or desire to experience new things, emotional overreactions or excessive emotional attachment to people or to objects, excessive neediness or clinginess in relationships or codependency, in other words. Physically, muscle tension and abdominal cramps. Like I said, fear of pleasure, self-sabotage, lack of creativity, lack of authenticity. Of course, the low libido, low life force, because we talked about the translation of the word libido. Repressed sexuality, pessimism, depression, issues with women, your menstrual cycles, men, your functionality of your genitalia, the urinary bladder issues, etc. So on the previous episode, we discussed that sexual or creative energy as it pertains to this chakra. Yes. So today I wanted to give you some things or ways that you can facilitate the healing of this chakra. And one of those ways is through meditation. And for the beginners, I would suggest a guided meditation to kind of talk you through what it is you're supposed to be imagining or visualizing. Those are pretty helpful, and of course they can be easily found on YouTube. Just use your discretion. Try to find a content creator who you kind of resonate with, okay, to walk you through that. Because some of them I listen to and I'll turn it on and it's like, I can't even take this lady voice, or so yeah, just choose who you like, choose what you like. Look at those clouds, so beautiful. Also, you can make some changes in your diet to help to aid in this balancing this chakra. Healing foods can help cleanse that second chakra. So also eating more foods that correspond in color to the sacral chakra, and the color that is corresponding to that chakra is orange. So of course, eating oranges and different types of melons, and using cinnamon in your day-to-day is super helpful as well. And also drinking tons and tons of water, which I definitely do that part of it anyway. Also aromatherapy. That's what I was going to say. I do not really love oranges, but I love the way they smell. One, they're just super invigorating. If you want to shift up your energy really quick, get you some citrus oil. Oh my goodness. Another one that I learned in researching for this one is sandalwood. And that made me so happy because I have a prosperity spray. And oh my goodness, I love the smell of sandalwood. And if I'm not mistaken, one of my guy friends used to wear a cologne, and that was the major component in his cologne as well. And that sandalwood, oh my goodness, get you some. Patchouli, of course, and I said orange. Essential oils, candles, all of those things. Aromatherapy, they will aid in triggering this healing in this chakra. Also, if crystals are your thing, you can get the orange crystals. You have citrine, carnelian, orange calcite, just to name a few. You can look those up. And there are also different yoga positions that aid in, yeah, the duckies running for cover. They know it's coming. My son was pointing out the ducks moving quickly to get under their tree. But also yoga. So hip opening positions and poses. This reminded me of the tight butt syndrome. Where if you listened on the previous podcast, people who are super guarded or have imbalance in this chakra tend to clench their butt cheeks really tight. So yeah, look around. Just be observant. You'll notice this all throughout the community. But yoga offers a slow and relaxed healing. So because I'm going to tell you about one way to facilitate healing. And I feel like if you are not ready for it, it may take you too fast. But we'll get to that. Gabriel and I tried yoga before, and I'm not a big girl, but I'm not skinny either. And honey, I was like, oh, this ain't for me. First of all, it was just a straight up comedy session between the two of us. You know, he over here cracking up now. It was comedy. I should have recorded it, but I didn't want to put myself out there like that. Baby, the gas. And it was a good time. We had fun, right, Gabriel?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, also water. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this is part of why I am so drawn to the water. So getting outside and relaxing near open bodies of water. But also showers, just in your home or wherever you bathe. Showers and taking salt baths provide a needed relaxation to help keep your emotions flowing. And if you're not into either of those, or you want something without actually having to get wet or be outside, you can find water sounds. They calm the body. Look for those recordings on YouTube as well. So ladies, another one that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Kegel exercises. If you guys know about Kegel exercises, if you've ever been to a gynecologist, I'm positive you've heard of this. If you've ever given birth, I'm positive you've probably used this. Given vaginal birth, I'm positive you've probably used this. But it's literally where you squeeze the muscles of your pelvic floor, and you just kind of hold and contract, squeeze and release, squeeze and release. So that is a sacral chakra balancing stimulant. Also, the last two, well, I'll save them for last. This next one, though, is a hand over heart. So if you're sitting in a meditative state, or you are wanting to specifically focus on the sacral chakra, you place your hand over your heart, one hand on your heart, because, of course, we are heart-centered beings. And so the point is to connect the sacral chakra to the heart chakra. So you have one hand over your heart and one hand on your sacral chakra. Yes, we've talked about the location of the sacral chakra. So of course, this is definitely something that your partner can help you with. Yeah, so actually the example that I witnessed was to have your partner place their hand on your sacral chakra. But me being me, I feel like that would just take a whole different turn. Like we ain't gonna be able to finish this meditation. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you got it in you and you can stay focused like that without being overly stimulated and without being drawn to the origin of the sensation, which would be your partner and his or her hand, then by all means try this one. Okay, so you just basically sit comfortably in a meditative state and take note of and express, of course, verbally with someone that you trust, the sensations that come up when you're in this position of connecting your heart to your sacral chakra. Not the last one, second to the last one, it's a little risque, is to release through orgasm. So whatever it is you do to come into the state of orgasm is going to be an excellent release, an excellent way to open up this chakra. For example, if you've ever just randomly had sex with someone and you cried after that experience, and it's like, why the hell am I crying? Yeah, there's probably some imbalance there that is coming up for healing. And then this last one, and I'm going to share my personal experience with you guys on this one, because I really feel like this is the one that started it all. I don't know if I put this in a post previously or maybe a video, but I know it has definitely since been deleted. I deleted it, about my yoni steam experience. The yoni steam is major. It was major for me, guys. So I had scheduled this. The divine intuitively sent me the yoni steam as an option when I first started meditating and focusing on my healing and whatnot. I had no idea of the real purpose of the yoni steam, other than to aid in cleanliness or whatever the case. And so I actually had gone, my friend sent me to her friend's spa to pick up some sage, because I needed some sage for the house. And so I go in and I see their little yoni pots and with the curtains and stuff. Super cute little spa. So I was like, oh, cool, I could come do this. So she scheduled me for one, and I had just come from working out. So I was like, well, I'm going to go home, shower real quick, and then I'll be back. So she scheduled me for 2 that afternoon. Honey, I called and canceled at 1:50. She's like, well, we can push it back to 3. Girl, no, I probably just really don't want to go, want to come. But I'll call you and reschedule when I want to. And it was super reasonably priced. It was only $20. So there was no real reason for me not to go, right? So from there, I just continued my healings. I do chakra-balancing meditations pretty frequently, because that is one thing about healing. It is a continuous journey. It's a continuous process. And trying to stay balanced, it's a continual thing. It's not something you can do this week and be like, oh, I'm healed. No, it doesn't really work like that, especially depending on how significant. Look at those pretty black ones with the red. Depending on how, we're looking at birds, y'all. They just all around here. Depending on how severe your imbalance is. But, so my friend, I scheduled that, and then I probably scheduled another one later and ended up flaking and canceling again. So that was twice, right? So then my friend and I, we were talking, and she was like, yeah, you need to do the yoni steam. So one day I was driving, y'all, and she called me just randomly. And she was, by herself, no kid there or whatever. She was like, yeah, today be the perfect day for you to do your steam. And I was like, oh, okay. Y'all, I didn't have no plans. I didn't have nothing to do. She was kid-free. No reason why I couldn't do it, right? But I had this stirring in my lower abdomen, kind of like a menstrual pain feeling. But I know that we weren't there. You know what I mean? I ain't had that going on or coming up. So, I already was like, what the heck is going on today with that? And so she mentioned that, oh, you can come do that today because I'm kid free. And I was like, okay. Then I was still super apprehensive, and she sensed that in me. And, her name, if you want to go and look up her Etsy shop or find her on Facebook, is Ekua by Queen E. It's EKUA by Queen with a capital E at the end. Anyway, she sensed that in me, I guess. And she was like, Tiffany, why are you procrastinating? Because I think I had put it off with her as well. And she was like, why are you procrastinating? What are you afraid of releasing? And y'all, I'm telling you, I was driving and I just broke down. I don't even know. I didn't even know how the trauma at that time. I didn't know how trauma was stored in this chakra. I hadn't been doing my research like that yet, And when she asked me that question, y'all, my higher self was like, there you go. I just started boo-hooing. Girl, I don't even know. And it just became such an emotional conversation. And so I beelined it to her house. And so when I get there, you know, we're still talking about the things that we were talking about. And I mean, stuff just started coming up, y'all. Like experiences and feelings and emotions. And just word vomit just started coming up. And I was like, her suggestion was, you know what? Because she makes these herbs, she packages them and distributes them, and she offers them and sells them on her site. So she was like, yeah, let me get these for you. She said, I'm thinking you should probably do this at home by yourself because, you know, yeah, it's an emotional event. So that helped me to realize what a spiritual, I don't want to say ritual because ritual sounds taboo, but a spiritual occurrence it is and could be. And so I was like, girl, you're sure right. So there's a reason why it kept being put off for me to do it at the public spa, because it would have become really, really, really emotional. So she told me how to, of course the directions are on the bag, but she told me how to create this tea with the because that's basically what it is, with the herbs that she was about to give me at home, and how to line my toilet in the pot and all that stuff. And of course I still watched a good video. I don't know if she sent that to me or not. Probably did, because, you know, I was just a babe in Christ, you know. I didn't know, you know, what I know now. And so I go home. I didn't have the kids this day. I go home. Mind you, I'm still feeling all this stir up in my lower abdomen, like that felt menstrual related. And instead of doing it right then, even though it was still daytime, because she was like, you want to ride with me somewhere? And I didn't want to ride. I was like, I just want to go home. I was really, I guess, sensing that something was about to go down. And so I go home, and instead of doing it right then, I waited like 4 hours. So it was like 7 o'clock at night when I finally decided to get this thing going. So I lit my meditation candles, and of course I watched a couple videos so that I'd be more understanding of the flow of things, how it's supposed to kind of handle this situation. And so I turned on my meditation music, and I just took some time to quiet myself and to connect with my angel guides. And I spoke to them my intentions of what I wanted to release. These are just the things that I knew of, y'all. So of course there were connections to certain people, connections to certain things, etc. Honey, I didn't realize about the limiting beliefs that I had grown up with in childhood, the doubts and fears that I had picked up from my childhood, like all those different things. I didn't even realize none of that. Honey. So I'm sitting on my pot, my toilet. I'm sitting on the toilet. Gabriel hates it when I enunciate. He cracks up like a little weirdo. But anyway, I'm sitting on the toilet, and I'm releasing these things. I'm speaking these things that I wish to release, y'all. And I mean just the emotion that came with it. So I just ended up sitting there pretty quietly for almost 30 minutes or about 30 minutes. And when I saw, I don't understand that, people on the dock running back to their cars. I guess they couldn't tell that it was about to storm. Anyway, so that was a pretty emotional experience, right? So I went ahead and got up, and I just didn't really feel like doing anything, which is good. I really wanted to take a bath at that point, but duh, why would you take a bath and wash away the effects of the herbs? Give the herbs time to do what they're supposed to do. So I just laid around naked, wrapped in my towel for a while, and I ended up going to sleep for like probably 2 hours or so, because I was really emotional, guys. And when I woke up, OMG, I just had a desire to research certain things. That was the night that I had my first psychic flashback. I ended up being up really all night till like 5 in the morning. But it was a really emotional experience, and it brought up to surface some memories and some things that I had no idea about, that I didn't know were still affecting me, etc. And so, yeah, so that's the one that I was telling you about that I was going to save to the end, where it can be kind of challenging. You need to be really committed to your healing and be prepared for it, and prepare your space for the sanctity of it, especially if it's your first time. I really feel like it's something that I should do at least 2 more times. But I have procrastinated so much, you guys. Like, every time I think about it, I kind of put it off. But the universe has a way of aiding you in healing the things that need to be healed. And so when certain videos pop up on your feed, know that there is purpose in it, usually. Sometimes it's for you to use your discernment, but a lot of times it's because it needs to be addressed. Okay, it's going to be a helpful tool for you. So I found a few good ones that way that I use in just regular meditations. But the yoni steam, y'all, was the ultimate trigger. So I am most definitely recommending, if you are serious about your healing and you really want to force yourself to dig deep, or you feel like there may be some things that go deeper, I would most definitely recommend you take that route. Okay, it got so real and so serious. Even now, in telling y'all, I'm really happy because I don't feel that lower abdominal sensation that usually occurs with that. So that makes me feel happy, because that means, I've definitely cleared some energy in that space. But yeah, so it's super important, of course, to try to maintain balance in all of your chakras. But if you are focusing on this sacral chakra, just what are some things that you can look forward to? You can look forward to a restored, healthy image of your sexuality, a restored image of your reaction to pleasure and the things that make you happy. It's going to allow you to reclaim your right to feel your emotions, reclaim your right to feel what makes you passionate and excited about life, and things that are associated with pleasure and that are meant to make you happy and to make you smile without the accompanying guilt or shame that a lot of people with blockages in this particular area tend to feel around anything sexual or anything new or anything outside of the box or outside of their zones of comfort. Also, this is partially how I know that there is still work to be done, because I am having such a hard time releasing my cigarette addiction. But the weed and alcohol, it was just overnight. And so this lets me know that there is indeed still work to be done on my lower chakras. But I suspect that as I continue to clear energy from these areas, that those are going to go as well. Okay, so this is all I have for you guys today regarding healing in your sacral chakra. I hope it was helpful. I hope you got something from it. I was going to ask you if you had a comment or a question. Of course, there's the Facebook group Ascending with Tiff Talks 22, and I created that group specifically for this podcast, where you can post your thoughts or questions or concerns or anything you wanted to discuss regarding the podcast. But if you follow me on Instagram, you know that these clowns put me in Facebook jail for 3 days because I called somebody a demon. But y'all, when I tell you I was under attack, I was most definitely under attack. They called me several different names, cuss words, profanity. I was doing none of that. I was extremely calm, which is why I went ahead and pulled some cards to see what was the underlying purpose of that. And it is, once again, not only censorship and wanting to stop my message, but it is also because Tiffany needs to think on a larger scale, and I'm learning to do that. And in that regard, the universe is forcing me to do that, to set up either my blog or website. So good. Stay focused. Stay tuned for that information. It's coming. I'm gonna stay focused. How about that? But it is coming. I'm definitely going to work on it. Probably starting my blog page first through WordPress. We'll go from there. So stay tuned. I'm so glad you chose to join me today. Really excited about this episode. I think it was some good information. Ladies, that Yoni steam, follow up. Do check it out. Oh, I did want to say also, if you decide to do a salt bath, when you do the salt bath, it is strictly for the release of toxins, okay? It is not for you to clean yourself in the bath. So don't sit saying like, I'm gonna do a spiritual bath and you got your dial and soap out and stuff. So what I usually do with that routine is I shower first, and that is with the intention of getting my body clean, and then I clean the tub really well, and that's when I add my salts, Epsom and sea salt. I say Epsom because it has the lavender, or you can get the cannabis hemp sea salt, yeah, bath salts or whatever. Those, anyway, whatever floats your boat with that. But the purpose is not to like physically clean with like body soap or anything like that, because by that time you're supposed to be clean. It is strictly about spiritual purification. Okay, so that's what the salt water is for. And then if you have access to a body of salt water, go and get in that thing. If you're near a beach, go and get in there. Super, super, super healing. Super healing. So, anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you got something from it. Let me know. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure your notifications are on. So, for the next episode, you're in that thing. All right? All right. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.